Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyadesh Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyadesh Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare
यज्ञ की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलम् श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णु Vedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Mukam karoti vachalam Angum langhayate girim Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Srimad Bhagavad Gita Yatharut Chapter 1 Observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra Text number 15 Panchajanyam Rishikesho Devadattam Dhananjaya Pondrang Dadmau Mahashankham Bhima Vrakodaraha. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya, Arjuna blew his, the Devdatta, and Bhima, the voracious eater and performer of Herculean tasks, blew his terrific conch shell called Pondra. So we have read the purport partially. The impostors cannot account for the senses of the living entities, and therefore they are always anxious to describe all living entities as senseless or impersonal. Lord is situated in the hearts of all living entities, directs their senses, but he directs in terms of surrender of the living entity. And in the case of pure devotee, he directly controls the senses. Here in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Lord directly controls the transcendental senses of Arjuna. Thus his particular name of Rishikesha. After this you read, the Lord has different names.
The Lord has uh, different names according to his different activities. For example, his name is Madhusudan because he gave the heaven of the name Madhu. His name is Govinda because he gives pleasure to the cows and to the saints. His name is Vasudeva because he appeared as the son of Vasudeva. His name is Devaki Nandana because he accepted Devaki as his mother. His name is Yashodanandan because he awarded his childhood customs to Yashoda at Vrindavan. His name is Parthasarathi because he worked as charioteer of his friend Arjuna. Similarly, his name is Rishikesha because he gave direction to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra.
Yes. So Lord has unlimited names. Whatever activity he does, based on that he gets one name. Like that. So here are some examples of Lord's name and how he got those names. So Govinda means the one who gives pleasure to the senses. Rishikesh means the one who controls the senses. So Lord is controlling the senses and Lord gives pleasure to the senses. If we agree to allow our senses to be controlled by the Supreme Lord, then surely we will be happy. But if you will control your senses with your own will, then you will suffer misery. So Lord is Rishikesh, allow our senses to control by the Lord. And Lord is Govinda, naturally then we will be happy, we will be pleased. So like that Lord has different names and some of the names description is given here. Read further.
Arjuna is referred to as Dhananjaya in this verse because he helped his elder brother in fetching wealth and it was a command by the king to make expenditures for different sacrifices.
Wait. So in the war so much expense takes place. So after Mahabharat war, the whole treasury of Hastinapur was almost lost. And after that Yudhishthira is becoming king. So not much wealth was there. That's what happens. After war, if someone takes the administration, he will have a tough time. Because in the war so much money is lost. So Yudhishthir Maharaj didn't had much money. Although he became the king of the whole earth land, but he didn't had much money. So then the difficulty was informed to Krishna. And Krishna told Arjuna to go in the northern direction and there so much of gold is there. You get that gold. And Arjuna got all that wealth. And that is why his name is Dhananjaya. Read further.
Similarly, Bhima is known as Drokodara because he could give as miraculously as he could perform Herculean tasks such as Kidimba. So the
Yeah, wait. So Bhima is called as Nakodara because in his stomach there was a special fire burning called Vraka, in whose stomach Vraka fire is burning, he is called as Vrakodara. Fire, there are different types of fire. We understand only one type of fire. But no, if you have ability to analyze, and the fire of wood, fire of gas cylinder, fire of kerosene, fire of electricity, all these fire are different. Fire of coal, different. So in the modern science, we have not yet done enough research to understand the difference between these fires. That's why we don't know. But there are different types of fires. And similarly, in the stomach, the fire burns. And in everyone's stomach, the fire is burning. In case of Bhima's stomach, there was much intense fire called Vraka. That is why he's called this Vrakodara. So he could eat too much. Normal person, if he eats too much, then the fire will not be sufficient enough to burn that food inside the stomach. And then he will suffer indigestion. But in Bhima's stomach, Vraka fire was burning and that would help him to digest everything, how much ever he would eat. So he would eat too much and he would perform activities also. Herculean task he would do in the in the Current times people are happy to eat too much, but then they want to simply relax. That is not good. Then you're spoiling your health. Eat to the degree which you can consume in Krishna's service. I will again repeat, eat to the degree which you can consume in Krishna's service. If you will eat beyond this, then that eating itself, instead of causing you, instead of offering you nourishment, will cause you disease. And if you analyze, most of the diseases people are suffering in the world because of bad eating. Either it could be overeating or unregulated eating or undesirable items eating. So this is not good. You are supposed to eat what you are prescribed within schedule, within limits. Then your health will be good. So most of the people are suffering because of the eating, bad eating habits. And very less number of people are there who have diseases because of poor eating. Very less number of people. So our eating should be in control to the degree we can consume that eating in Krishna's service. Then it is good. So Bhima was eating so much and he would perform the activities also which cannot be comparable with anyone else. So in this way Bhima was performing Herculean task in Krishna's service. Read further.
So, on a particular night of conchal, we will have the different personalities on the side of Pandavas, beginning with the gods, were all very encouraging to the fighting soldiers. On the other hand, where there were no such credits, nor the presence of Lord Krishna, the supreme director, nor that of goddess of fortune. So they were present, predestined to lose the battle, and that was the message announced by sounds of council.
Yeah. So when the conch shell were blown by the Pandavas, then all the soldiers got encouraged, and Krishna was personally there. Goddess of fortune was also there. In this way, these are the good signs for winning the battle. But there was nothing like that in the Kaurava side. So, by the sounds of the concert itself, it was very clear that who is going to win. Next verse. अनंत विजयं राजा कुंती पुत्रो युधिष्ठिरा नकुला सहदेवश्च सुघोषा मणिपुष्पकौ काश्यश्च परमेश्वासः शिखण्डी च महारथः दृष्टद्युम्नो विराटश्च सात्यकिश्च पराजितः द्रुपदो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्वशः पृथिवीपते सौभद्रश्च महाबाहु शङ्खान् दद्मुः पृथक् पृथक्. Read the translation.
King Yudhishthir, the son of Kunti, blew his counsel, the Ananta Vijay, and Nakul and Sahadev blew the Sughosh and Mani Pushpak. The great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter, Shikhandi, Drishtadyumna, Virat, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupad, the son of Draupadi, and the others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all blew their respective functions.
Yes. So first Conch shell was blown by Krishna, second by Arjun, third by Bhima, and after that Yudhishthir, Nakul, and Sahadev, and then everyone else. And Yudhishthir conch shell is Ananta Vijaya, that means it is signifying the limitless victory. Nakula's conch shell is Sughosha, that means very sweet sound from that conch shell. And Sahadev conch shell is Mani Pushpakau, which is very beautiful to look at, like a flower decorated with so many pearls. Read the purport.
Sanjay, Sanjay informed Sanjay informed King Dhritarashtra very tactfully that his unwise policy of deceiving the sons of Pandu and endeavoring to enthrone his own sons on the seat of the kingdom was not very laudable. The science already clearly indicated that the whole Kuru dynasty would be killed in the great battle.
Wait. So Dhritarashtra has asked the question, what is happening in the battlefield of Kurukshetra? And his intention was not to exactly know what is happening, but his intention was that whether my children are winning or not. That is his intention. So Sanjay is replying to Dhritarashtra. So he is not saying directly that, oh, your son are going to lose. He is not saying directly. But the way the description is there, by that he is indicating very clearly that your children are going to lose. The policy, the bad policy which you have adopted to usurp the kingdom by cheating the Pandavas is not going to work. Rather, in this fight, victory will be of the Pandavas because all the auspicious signs are there with the Pandavas. Okay? And because of inauspiciousness towards Kauravas, all the Kuru dynasty would be killed. So he has not said it directly, but indirectly the message is given by Sanjay to Dhritarashtra. Of course, Dhritarashtra is not so intelligent to understand all this. Read further.
The signs already clearly indicated that the whole Kuru dynasty would be killed in that great battle, beginning with the grandsire Bhishma down to the grandsons like Abhimanyu and others, including kings from many states of the world. All were present there and all were doomed. The whole catastrophe was due to King Dhritarashtra because he encouraged the policy followed by his sons.
So the whole catastrophe is due to King Dhritarashtra. Why the blame is given to King Dhritarashtra? Because he is in the topmost position. Mistake may be done by others, but he being in the topmost position should control it. If he is not controlling, then he is to blame. So that is why all the whole catastrophe, so many people would be killed, is all due to King Dhritarashtra because he is siding the policy of irreligion and not controlling his irreligious son Duryodhana. Next verse. सघोषोधार्त राष्ट्राणां हृदयानि व्यदारयत् नभश्च पृथिवीं चैव तुमुलोऽभ्यनुनादयन्. Read the translation.
The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra.
See, conch shell blowing, it shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. What kind of effect you feel also depends upon what kind of mentality you have. So many fighters are there on the Pandava side. They also heard the same conch shell bloom. Their hearts are not shattered. Why the Kauravas army people are feeling that their hearts are being shattered? Sound is a sound, isn't it? If very loud sound is being played, then every person feels the same kind of effect. If too much loud is there, every one person will feel that their eardrums are getting hurt. Everyone will feel. So they blew the conch shell. Why only Kaurava children are feeling that their hearts are shattered and not anyone in the Pandava side? Because when these conch shells are blown, it is not just the sound of the conch shell, but it is carrying, along with the sound, it is carrying the attitude, the feelings, the confidence of the Pandavas who are blowing the conch shell in the service of Krishna. They are having full support of Krishna. So this whole thing is there. So sometimes we may be just like, for example, an atheistic person. He may say that I don't believe in God and all this, but if some difficult situation comes, which is beyond his control, he himself will become fearful. He himself will become fearful, and although he doesn't believe in God, but he will start feeling that some higher power should come and help me. So these feelings come. So another example could be that someone who may have stolen the money. Now, no one has seen it, let's say. No one has seen it. No camera, nothing, nothing, nothing. No one has seen it. He only knows that he has stolen the money. And let's say he is not caught also. 5 years happen, he is not caught. Still, even after 5 years, if he sees some police, he may be fearful, isn't it? Maybe I will be caught this time. Because record is there that money was stolen. And they are doing the searching who has stolen it. So still he will be fearful, even after 5 years. So point is that if you are on the wrong side, how much ever clever you may be, how much ever powerful you may be, still, because you are on the wrong side, that negative effect will come upon you. That's how the nature is. You cannot you cannot control yourself too much. Ultimately, your whole body is not in your full control, it is in control of others. So because you have stolen the money or you have performed some irreligious act, surely you will feel the negative impact of it. That's how the nature is. It will not allow you to remain in peace. Okay. You have performed some sin, the reaction is going to come. So these Kauravas, they are on the side of irreligion. Pandavas are faithfully following the religious principle, and with that confidence, they blew the conscious. So naturally, by the uh, arrangement in the nature, their heart felt the feeling of being shattered, not the Pandavas, because they are on the side of religion. So like that. So their hearts were shattered. Read the purport.
When Bhishma and the others on the side of Duryodhana blew their respective conch shells, there was no heartbreaking on the part of the Pandavas. Such appearances
Are
but
not mentioned.
are not mentioned, but in this particular verse, it is mentioned that the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra were shattered by the sounds vibrated by the Pandavas' party.
Wait. So the one who has prepared well for the exam, he is not afraid to give the exam. The one who has not prepared well for the exam, even if the most simple paper comes, he is afraid. So, like that. These Kauravas, they are on the side of the irreligion. Pandavas are on the side of religion. So, Pandavas are fearless because they are on the side of religion. Bhishma, even if Bhishma is blowing the conscience, why to worry? We are on the side of religion. But when Pandavas do the conscience, they are on the side of irreligion. Though their army is very powerful, but still, because they're on the side of irreligion, they are fearful. So that's how the nature acts. You, if you are following the path of sin, you will lose all the good qualities, and all the negativity will grow in your consciousness. Naturally, it will happen. But if you are following the path of religion, then all the good qualities will grow in your heart. So this is what is happening. That Kauravas, they are on the side of irreligion, and thus they are feeling weak, and that's why their hearts are being shattered. Read further.
This is due to the Pandavas and their confidence in Lord Krishna. One who takes the shelter of the Supreme Lord has nothing to fear, even in the midst of greatest calamity.
Yeah. So you cannot avoid the difficult situations in the world. It will come. But what you can do is take shelter of the Supreme Lord. Follow his directions. Then you can be fearless. But without taking shelter of Krishna, if you do all different arrangements to avoid a difficult situation, still you will remain fearful. Still you will remain fearful. So better to take shelter of Krishna, then only we can be truly fearless. Okay. Next verse. अथ व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वज प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यम् इदमाह महीपते. Read translation. Next person.
At that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot, bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra, Dhritarashtra drawn in military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words.
Okay. So Arjuna's chariot is given to him by fire god Agni Dev, and in the chariot flag is there in which Hanuman is seated. You may wonder how come Hanuman is sitting on the flag. He has the power to become as light as possible, to become as heavy as possible. And in spite of being the lightest, he can perform the heaviest task. That is Hanuman. So he can become as light as the feather. So he can sit on the flag. So Hanuman is seated on the flag. Okay, not just the picture of Hanuman. Hanuman personally is there. Okay. So Hanuman is there in Arjuna's chariot, and Arjuna is ready to fight with his bow and arrows. And Arjuna then directed Krishna what to do. Read the purport.
The battle was just about to begin. This is understood from the above statement that the son Dhritarashtra were more or less disheartened the unexpected arrangement of military force by the Pandavas, who were, who were guiding by the who were guided by the direct instructions of Lord Krishna on the battlefield.
Wait. So first discouragement to Duryodhan was seeing a big army of Pandavas because he did not expected such a big army. So that was the first discouragement. And second discouragement was when the conscience were blown. He felt the shattering of his heart also. So, as I said already, by the natural arrangement itself, see feelings, how different feelings are coming, they are not in our controls all the time. Our body is in full control of Supreme Lord. For example, you put a sugar in your tongue, you feel sweet. To experience the feeling of sweetness is not in your control. It is in Krishna's control who has arranged our body in such a way that we feel sweet when sugar is put in our tongue. And same body, it becomes sick, then even if you put sugar, it appears bitter. So please understand that our body is not in our control. Whatever feelings we are experiencing is not in our control. Both positive and negative feelings. Whatever we experience is not in our control. Okay? Sometimes, uh, let's say, mo- so, most of the time, just like you put sugar in 10 people's tongue, everyone starts feeling sweet. Everyone experiences the feeling of sweetness. So we may feel that it is because of the sugar. It may be because of the sugar, but sugar is not the primary cause. The primary cause is the Supreme Lord who is making that arrangement in everyone's body. And of course, the exceptions are there where people don't feel sweet even if sugar is put. So, so with respect to each and every feeling which we are experiencing, Krishna is in control. You lose something, you feel sad. Krishna has made this arrangement that you feel sad. So all the feelings are because of Krishna's arrangement. So if you have stolen something, if you are following the path of a religion, naturally you will start feeling some kind of uncomfort because you are on the path of a religion. More you follow the path of religion, more you follow the good deeds, you may not be having opulence from the external viewpoint, but internally you will be very much satisfied. On the other hand, even if you acquire a lot of wealth by doing sinful activities, so much opulence will be there with you, but still internally you will feel dissatisfied. You will not feel comfortable. Because you know, whatever it is around, it's all because of the sin. So it will not allow you to remain in peace. You will be tormented by all the sinful deeds which you had done in the past. It will not allow you to remain in peace. So, this is how Krishna's arrangement is. What you feel in your heart is not in your control. If you have done the sinful deeds, you will start feeling bad about it. You can try to ignore it. Just like Duryodhan was he trying to ignore it, Dhritarashtra was trying to ignore it. Okay, and they were committing sinful activities one after another, but ultimately they are feeling weak. All the all the people with bad mentality who are exploiting people, just like all different, just like if some minister is simply cheating, doing all kinds of corruption and saving and securing lot of money for himself by bad means, he may show himself externally in some way, but internally his consciousness will not keep him in peace. He will be tormented by all the sinful deeds which he has done. And same thing Duryodhan is experiencing now. Okay. So so this Dhritarashtra, when he saw big army of Pandavas, he was disheartened. And when he heard the counsels blown by the Pandavas, he was disheartened. Read further.
The emblem of Hanuman on the flag Arjuna is another sign of victory because Hanuman cooperated with Lord Rama in the battle between Rama and Ravana, and Lord Rama emerged victorious.
Read.
Now both Rama and Hanuman were present on the chariot of Arjuna to help him. Lord Krishna is Rama himself, and whatever Lord Rama is, his internal servitor Hanuman and his eternal consort Sita, the goddess of fortune, are present.
Wait. So Hanuman is there, Ram is there, and Sita is there with Arjuna. Okay. Ram as Krishna and Sita as goddess of fortune. Of course, she is not visible on the chariot, but she is there. So much support is there with Arjuna. So much support is there, then why Arjuna should be fearful? Arjuna is not fearful. On the other hand, because Duryodhan, he is not having that support. So he is feeling fearless. He is feeling fearful. So Arjuna, he is having support of Krishna. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, a fearless personality. So if you are support of a fearless personality, you will be fearless. On the other hand, Duryodhan has no such support, so he is fear. Of course, he has support of Bhishma. They are powerful people. But even though Bhishma is powerful, he will also be ultimately defeated by the power of time. So, in that sense, Duryodhan is not feeling much confidence. And anyway, because of the natural arrangement, he must feel fearful because he is siding the sinful path. On the other hand, Arjuna is on the path of religion with the shelter of Krishna, so he is fearless. Read further.
The- Therefore, Arjuna had no cause to fear any enemies whatsoever. And above and and above all, the Lord of senses, Lord Krishna was personally present to give him direction. Thus, all good counsel was available to Arjuna mate-
In the
in the
matter,
matter of executing the battle in such auspicious conditions arranged by the Lord. His eternal devotee lay the sign of assured
victory. Okay. So Arjuna is being supported by Krishna, Hanuman, goddess of fortune. So he is fearless and he is feeling confident of the victory and he is thus fearless. So like that. So if you want to develop confidence, then take shelter of Krishna, isn't it? So Arjuna has taken shelter of Krishna. See, whatever quality you want to develop, if you want to develop positive quality, then you associate with a person who has that positive quality. If you want to develop negative quality, then you associate with a person who has that negative quality. You will develop those qualities. So Arjuna is taking shelter of Krishna, and Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So naturally he will be confident because Krishna is confident. So like that. So we should take shelter of Krishna. In taking shelter of Krishna only, our success, our positive qualities, they will grow. Next verse. Okay. So now, so far the background description was there, and so far the talk was between Sanjaya and Dhritarashtra, and some verses are spoken by Duryodhana also. Now, first time Arjuna is speaking. Arjuna uvacha सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये रथं स्थापयमेच्युत यावदेतान् निरीक्षेऽहं योद्धुकामानवस्थितान् कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम् अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे. Read translation.
Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies, so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in his great trial of arms.
Yeah. So Arjuna is not treating Krishna as a driver. Of course, Krishna is functioning as a driver, but Arjuna is very respectful to Krishna. And that is why he is using the words O infallible one. That means one who can never fail in doing any activity. O infallible one. Please take my chariot between the two armies so that I can see with whom I am supposed to fight. It's natural question, natural instruction which Arjuna is presenting before Krishna. Read the purport.
Although Lord Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, out of his causeless mercy, he was engaged in the service of his friend. He never fails in his affection for his devotees, and thus he is addressed herein as infallible.
Yeah, so Krishna is Supreme Lord, but he can take even the smallest of the position to have loving reciprocation with his devotees. And thus, Arjuna also understands this attitude of Krishna that he never fails in showing his affection to his devotees. And thus, Arjuna is addressing Krishna as infallible and requesting him to take the chariot in the middle of the army. Take read further.
As charioteer, he had to uh, carry out the orders of Arjuna, and since he did not hesitate to do so, he is addressed as infallible. Although he had accepted the position of the charioteer for his devotee, his supreme position was not challenged.
Wait. So he has become the driver. That doesn't mean that he has lost his position as the master of all the universes. He's still the master of all the universes. Let's say you ask Amitabh Bachchan to play the role of uh, a very small role, hardly half-minute role of sweeping the road. Is he going to accept that role? Yes or no? Half-minute role of sweeping the road in some movie. Will he accept that role?
Yes, yes. Paid
Huh?
properly.
Huh?
If he is paid, would he take it?
He will not accept it because he will lose his career. He's not going to accept that role. They have to maintain their position, isn't it? So, but Krishna is not like that. He is not worried about his position. Krishna is Supreme Lord, Master of all the universes. But he doesn't mind to become the driver. Very happily he is accepting the position of being the driver. And although he has become the driver, his position as a Supreme Lord is not challenged. So like that. People in this world, they are very much after maintaining their position, isn't it? Just like if someone he is in some high position, to maintain his position, he will not go in some simple car because he will worry that if people see him in this simple car, then what people will talk and all that. So people are very much cautious to maintain their position. A lot of expense goes just to maintain their position. Lot of money goes like that. But Krishna is not worried, and Krishna's position is not being challenged also. So this is Krishna. So just because he is Supreme Lord, that doesn't mean that he cannot do something. Still he can do everything. That is why he is infallible. Read further.
Rishikesha, the Lord of total senses. Relationship between
Where are you reading? In all circumstances, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Godhead. Rishikesha,
Hmm.
Rishikesha, the Lord of total senses. The relationship between the Lord and his servitor is very sweet and transcendental. The servitor is always ready to render service to the Lord, and similarly, uh, The Lord is always seeking an opportunity to render some service to the devotee.
Wait. So yes, he may be the supreme Lord, but for him, the prime importance is of relationship with his devotees. Krishna may be the supreme Lord, but his prime concern is relationship with his devotees. And for that, he is always seeking the opportunity to serve the devotees. And his devotees are also looking for the opportunity to serve the Supreme Lord. So, this relationship between Lord and devotees is of prime importance, irrespective of who the Lord is. He is most concerned about loving relationship with his devotees, and for that he is ready to do anything. Read further.
He takes the greater pleasure in his pure devotees assuming the advantageous position of ordering him than he does in being the giver of the orders. Since he is master, everyone is under his orders, and no one is above him to order him. But when he finds that a pure, a pure no one is
Pure devotee.
pure devotee,
What is written there? Pure devotee should be.
pure devotee is ordering him, he obtains the transcendental pleasure, although he is infallible, master in all circumstances.
Hmm.
As a
Wait,
pure,
wait, wait. Yeah, so devotee wants to serve the Lord, and Lord wants to serve devotees. So in this world we feel pleasure if others are serving, isn't it? But Lord's psychology is that Lord finds greater pleasure in his pure devotees ordering him and he serving them. Okay. We find greater pleasure in ordering others and they serving me. But Lord finds greater pleasure in devotees ordering him and he serving them. Okay. So although Lord is the master of everything, he can give order to everyone and he is giving order. All the demigods, 33 crores demigods, they're functioning under his order. Everyone is under his control. But still, when his devotee out of love orders him, he feels greater pleasure in serving that devotee. So this is Lord's psychology. So pleasure of serving others can come only in loving relationship. Pleasure of serving others can come only in loving relationship. I will give a simple example. Mother is offering so much services to her child because of love. Same mother may not be ready to offer that much service to another child, isn't it? Because that love is not there. So if love is there, then if this feeling of love is there, then we feel greater pleasure in serving. If the feeling of love is not there towards other, then feeling of love is there towards me. You understand? If I'm not loving that person more, that means I'm loving me. Then service should come to me. Then I feel greater pleasure. So principle is wherever you are offering your love, there if the service is offered, there then you feel pleasure. It means service offered to your lovable object gives you pleasure. If you love yourself, then you want all the service to yourself. Then you feel pleasure. Okay. Now, loving oneself is not as such love. Loving oneself is not as there's nothing. Because love has to be between the two people always. You are loving oneself, it doesn't make much sense. I just stated the principle that whomever you are loving more, there if the service is offered, you feel greater pleasure. If you love yourself more compared to others, you want all the services to yourself, isn't it? Two friends are there, both are loving each other more than themselves. Then let's say they got a sweet, so they would like to give their friend more sweet than themselves. Because if he honors the sweet, he feels better pleasure. Right? That's how the natural system is arranged by the Lord. It can be observed in the family, in any loving relationship. It can be observed. So if love is there, then you want to serve that personality, and you feel greater pleasure. You love that person, you serve that person, and you feel greater pleasure. That's how the system is, and you can go against this system. This is how it will work. So if you want to be happy, then process to become happy is that you start serving to whom you love. And love cannot be just one-sided. And I am loving that person and he is not loving you. It is not going to happen. Then you will also not be able to love that person. Okay. If you are loving and he is loving, then it becomes complete. If you are only loving and he is simply exploiting you, then you feel cheated. That I am so doing so much for this person because I love this person and he is cheating me. So when you are loving someone, then naturally you expect that that person should also love you. See, there's a difference between it is not a business. Just like I am loving that person, so you expect that person also to love you. So you may feel that it is a kind of business relationship. I love and you love. No, it's not like that. In business, you give 100 rupees and you expect the commodity of value 100 rupees. In love, you offer something within your capacity and he offers something within his capacity. It's not a business exchange. If that person is poor, he will offer something very little. Sudama was very poor. He offered just some chipped rice. Krishna is the king in Dwarika. He offered big palace to Sudama. And still Krishna is feeling that I have not given enough to Sudama. This is love. So this is not business, this is love. So we can be happy only when there is loving relationship. Okay? And I said loving relationship means it should be both sided. So it's very difficult to find someone who is truly loving you. It's very difficult. It may be possible that someone wants to have good loving relationship with you, It is possible. But still, he has his conditioning. And within that parameters, he will say, oh, it's difficult, isn't it? Just like two friends may be there, and both friends are inseparable. That means they are always accompanying each other. Good. That they are always accompanying each other. But still, there is possibility, there is situation that you may not be able to help your friend. It is possible. The difficult situation may come, isn't it? And friends may regret also that what to do, I could not help. It will happen. So, people in this world are all limited. In spite of loving relationship will be there, but still we may not be able to exercise that much love because of our limitations. So that is why true loving relationship can happen only in loving relationship with Krishna. And one can feel true satisfaction in loving relationship with Krishna. In all other loving relationship, sometimes some dissatisfaction, something may come because of our own limitations, what to do. But in relationship with Krishna, one is always feeling joy and satisfaction. So, so when we are serving the Lord, then we can be truly happy. So first principle I said that you can feel happy when you start serving someone to whom you love. And second principle I said that love should be both ways. It cannot be one sided. Third point I said that as that love should be both ways, it can happen in most of the time, but sometimes it may not work out because everyone has a limitation. But it can best work out in relationship with Krishna. So we can be truly happy when we offer our loving services to Krishna. Right? So so we can be truly happy in our loving service with Krishna, and Krishna also feels the joy in offering loving service to us. So this is the best relationship with Krishna. And Krishna feels joy in offering loving service to us, and we feel joy in offering loving service to Him. But in this world, it may not work out always. It will work out in most of the cases, but sometimes the friction happens, isn't it? Sometimes it happens, and you will have the experience. Right? So complete this paragraph. This is done, right? This paragraph is done. He obtains transcendental pressure, although he is the infallible master in all circumstances. Read it, right? Yeah, good. So yes. So Krishna feels the pleasure when he is serving his devotees, and devotees feel pleasure when they are serving Krishna. So this is how one can be truly happy. Okay, and partial means part of that happiness we all experience because we are offering loving service to each other. And people who don't have anyone to love them, they may be having lots of money, they may be having lots of fame, but because no one is loving them, they remain very miserable. They remain very much miserable. There are people who are having so much money, so much of followers appreciating them, but no one loves them. They just want to exploit them. So they remain miserable. So happiness comes only in loving service. Not service to me, service to others to whom. That's how we can be happy. So we'll stop now. In the next class, we'll cover the next paragraph. And I went beyond the time. Sorry. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. And